Hello, guys, and welcome to the Grid NA here. I'm Shope, and with me to start this out is Simpson. And man, I'm excited, Simpson. This is the finale of the field, and it's the last one that we're going to have of this of the great production we've had and of the great thing that we've had here with the field. And I'm sad to see it go, but I'm super excited for this tournament this weekend to cap it all off.
You caught yourself there, but I heard you slip and say the grid.
Yeah, I did. It's the field.
It is the field. I'm so excited to be here alongside you. I know you were out here covering the European action as well, and that was some phenomenal gameplay through and through. This is the first and foremost spot to come to highlight the teams that are on the cusp of professional play and also capable of taking it to those teams at the top. And we got quite a fast-moving bracket today.
Yeah.
And this first match, Circuitry Gaming versus Mirage, both of these orgs have had their mainstay and their time to shine in Rocket League. So they're not messing around when they select the team that they want to back.
Yeah, for sure. These teams and orgs are actually really, really solid play, and I think we saw that in the European side of it earlier today. There's some really high-level teams that have actually done some stuff in the regionals and qualifying for the grid, almost getting there. Some teams actually getting there. And, it's always good to see these guys here in this kind of environment to really kind of get a nice big tournament to cap this off. And thank Rival and these guys for putting this on and doing this. Today, we're going to be doing the qualifying matches for the lower bracket here, this one being Mirage and Circuitry. So we're going to have best of fives going on, and we're starting it out strong.
Yes, we are indeed. We got Mirage out here in the orange with Circuitry on the blue. Very fitting for these orgs. Some pressure coming out early. Cleared out. I like the midfield control here to catch that on the roof of his car and turn it into a shot. Nebra on 165 hertz monitor. The mechanics are showing there with that buttery smooth play.
Yeah, he is right here. Great little catch, like you said. Ability to control that ball and really catch everyone on Circuitry off guard all the way to the back end there. And again, like we said, these are some teams that we've seen in the qualifying for the grid in the majors, or at least some of the later stages of it. So you expect both of these teams to have some firepower coming out, but Mirage really just coming out with a barrage, to be honest with you, of goals within the first few seconds here.
They absolutely are. Back to back here. We're not even 30 seconds in, and 2/3 of the roster getting involved here to set these goals up. And Fifi, Skies, and Melody, no joke at all of a roster. So they got to find an answer here quick. Brush this off, because this Mirage team looking scary off the bat.
Yeah, they really are right here. But Circuitry trying to answer. This might be a chance. Demo, but no shot just yet. Trying to get that one in there is Melody, but unfortunately comes a little bit wide with it. And you can see them starting to poke and prod their way forward to see if they can find any openings in this Mirage side. Really, Mirage hasn't really been on defense too much in the first minute because they've scored so quickly off kickoffs.
Yeah, they really have scored very quickly off of kickoffs, and trying to adapt to the play and how quickly it's been moving and how fast goals have been capitalizing on. I've noticed that both teams are lagging a little bit behind the ball and its speed. The ball's been rolling, crossing the net, and what could be potentially opportunities being squandered just simply due to the fact that these teams are still trying to catch up to the pace of their own touches. And so here we're seeing Mirage come out here with another good pressure. It's a nice tackle against Fifi. He had control in the corner, was trying to drag it out. Now we got Melody trying to connect with his teammate. That's great, but it's sent just high. Skies has to come in and follow, not getting the touch that he wants. Fifi gonna have to make an awkward connection there with Nebra in the corner.
Yeah, those guys really punching it towards the net, trying to get it out and around and in the center, but so focused on, trying to get that ball from the outside to the end that they kind of lost a little bit of positioning towards the middle of the field. Couldn't quite get anyone on it to shoot it right here. I think maybe a missed touch. Not sure if going for a pass or if actually just trying to get it to the backboard and missed it right there. But either way, a little bit too much sauce on that for anyone to deal with. But now Fifi up over the top, going for a bounce on it. Can't quite find it. And here we go, coming around Nebra. He's got a little bit of space here. He's going to get a boost. He gets supported on the backside. He gets towards the shot. So close, but Fifi is there.
Wow, that was a great opportunity coming out from Mirage, but I like the pressure we're seeing mounting for Circuitry as well. Oh, a fancy double touch off the sidewall there. Potentially tee up his teammate Nebra. No connection there as the bounce goes just a bit too high and an uncomfortable angle over the net. Now Circuitry coming back trying to find some pressure, but Nebra quick to relieve it. Skies cannot make the connection he needs And that bounce, it's going to be just close enough to the right edge to find its way into the goal.
Yeah, that just gets past the challenging defender, and it gets helped a little bit here by Skies, who doesn't have much of a chance on this one, really. I think that's either bouncing in. That's one of those where you have to decide, you know what, do you think this is going to bounce in, or do you think it's going to bounce up, and you just have to stick with your decision? He thinks it's bouncing in already, so he comes at it, he gives it a little nudge, but there's a very good chance that ball was just going to sneak in there whether or not he went for it.
Yeah, and you beat yourself up no matter what happens in that situation, because clearly incapable of making contact with that. So if you leave it and the bounce is favorable for the opponent, then you know that's going to be a goal as well. So now 3-0, Circuitry looking to fight back here. Fifi though giving up possession to Vegas at mid. This is going to take some controlled play here from Melody, who can't quite catch up to his own touch. Skies though the first one to recover. That was looking good, but a nice save coming out from Linear.
Yeah, Linear with a phenomenal just dive across the net right there from the backboard, but a challenge coming in, the ground pitch, trying to just eke it past on the ground, but it's not going to get there as this one's cleared out all the way. The Llama decal is coming out for this team right here. You love to see that, you know, with Epic putting those in the game. I've seen a lot of those, Simpson, and already coming out to play here as Mirage looking for a fourth goal. They may get it, but no,
Wow.
What a block coming out.
Mirage looking so strong, and if I had had to put my predictions in before this match got rolling, I probably would have been in favor of Circuitry. All three of these players, they're just so familiar with each other's playstyle, but it doesn't matter if you're just constantly being suffocated by pressure like we're seeing from Vegas out here trying to find Linear. It doesn't matter the amount of boost that they have, because they don't need a lot to make a play unfold. Even when they have 100 in the tank, they're saving it for the lethal striking opportunities, and that's how they're up 3-0 in this game.
Yeah, that really is, and they're doing that. That and their coordination off kickoffs, right, to get the game started early. And when you do that, you don't have to take as many liberties. You don't have to worry about cheating up as much and going for balls that are kind of 50-50 on whether or not you're scoring or the other team is scoring. You can just keep playing it safe, keeping it in front of you, and getting Fifi here trying to answer with that, though. So 34 seconds left. See, but you have the opportunity to give up some little cheeky ones like this that sometimes just sneak in there when you get such a lead to start the game.
Hey, Mirage scored 2 in less than 30 seconds at the beginning. If Circuitry can find another, then you have 0-second time to play off of. This game is far from over, and this series looking to be an exciting one. Right now, the pressure, ball may be in the orange half, but these 50s, it's killing a lot of time here that Circuitry desperately needs. The ball floating off the side wall. They got to score right here, right now. That's a great touch from Fifi off the sidewall, connecting with Melody, but it's just wide. The bump is not going to be capitalized on yet, and now there's going to be a big clear downfield in the final 10 seconds to relieve that lethal pressure from Circuitry.
Yeah, that was Circuitry's last chance right there. It's going to run out the clock here. A goal's going to sneak in from Nebra, but it's not really going to matter too much as 2 seconds are left on the clock. Mirage is probably going to take this one 4-1 if one more goal doesn't quite sneak in here off this kickoff. And they've looked good. They've attacked really quickly to start the game and then just played safe really towards the end of it. And Circuitry finally got a little bit of momentum with that goal, and that can be so huge, right? Because when you get that goal towards the end of the game, you keep yourself from maybe panicking too much in the second game. Because if you get shut out, sometimes your mind starts thinking, all right, we got to take more chances. All right, we need to do more. All right, we need to push the issue. And when you start trying to push the issue like that, Simpson, things can really go bad for your team, and you can start giving up goals in droves.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And you got to stop the bleeding when you can, which, you know, a little bit more of that was starting to show with that final goal there from Mirage, but you got to write that one off because that final drive, that final 30 seconds was all in favor of Circuitry. And when you're committing that hard in desperate need for a goal and the other team knows it, they're going to be able to capitalize on any form of counterattack there. So that goal, throwaway time, and moving forward into Circuitry, they just got to... They gotta stop it at the beginning. You know, you can't have so many goals giving the opponent a handicap. You know, and then we'll see the rest of the series being a lot closer if they can suffocate that and bring it back to. It'll probably be more 1-goal games moving forward instead of these 2-3 goal leads. Yeah,
that's definitely what I'm expecting here. I think this series is going to be a lot closer. Really, if you take away the 2 kickoff goals, which I know are still part of the game, but if you say that Circuitry is going to come back and eliminate those, that's what, a 2-1 game? That's much closer. But like you said, when you give up those early, when a ball is there and you can either go for the challenge, which may lead to a goal, but also could put you in a bad situation as a team if you miss it, you're just going to start backing off those balls, right, and playing a little bit safer because you know you can. And so we'll see what they can do here in this game 2 when they may not have that kind of leeway if they don't get these quick goals to start it out.
Yeah, no doubt. And Mirage, they absolutely did start playing it safer, but that did not mean that they were not willing and hoping to get some extra goals to pad the stats there. So even when they're playing that more relaxed rotational style, you got to be aware, have all your senses ready to defend when the ball is in your half, and you can't be overcommitting and making poor challenges in the back half of the field by any means.
No, you can't at all. And we're going to see here as we're moving forward. We're trying to get the second game ready to make sure we have all the overlays, and a little bit of a tech issue with one of the players, and hopefully they can get that resolved here, because I know we've got 4 matches lined up here, all of them qualifying matches here in the lower bracket. So these are to make it to tomorrow, man. This is to make it into that chance for that prize pool for the field finale. So very, very important series here. All of these guys' tournament brackets, tournament lives are on the line, and so they're going to have to give it their all.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Coming right in off the bat with some lower bracket matches being eliminated, because there's so much on the line here, and all these teams capable to make it into day 2. But every game, every point counts here, and it's really a shame to see any of these teams have to go home.
Yeah, it really is, and we'd love to get to see some more of them. But, I mean, that is the nature of tournaments, man. Somebody has got to lose.
Why can't
that's
everyone
just win? How it goes. That's just how it goes, man. And that's the thing that people, they take it for granted, right? They take it for granted, the fact that there are always going to be people that have to go out early, no matter how good your team is and how many times you could beat someone in scrims, how many times you can beat someone in, a league play scenario. In a tournament like this, you get 2 losses and you're out. You could be the best team in the world and just mess around for 2 games and accidentally get knocked out, and that's it. You're done. It doesn't matter how good you are on paper. You got to bring your A game here in the tournament.
Yeah, and the field, this is a celebration of all it's been, and this is a vast tournament ladder format, and the teams that showed up to play, to grind, and to understand who they're up against, they're being rewarded here in these stages.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to teams that are this close, where it matters on the day, everything like that counts and makes a difference moving forward. And so the teams that have been out here grinding, we notice you, we see you, and the results are showing that through and through. So props to those teams that have been showing up since day 1 in the field. It's been quite the ride to follow them through all the divisions.
Yeah, it really has, and it's been exciting. And, it is a little bit of a change of format from what you normally have with the field, right? The field is, I'd say, it's not quite league play, but it's more akin to a league play or scrims, right, where you just queue in and you have matches over and over again. You lose one match, doesn't matter, it just affects your elo a little bit. It's more similar to a ranked system, and you keep going up or down, and you can always make it up. But here, there is no long game. There is no way to draw this out and just hope that you can get them back in the next series. It's this series. It's do or die, and Circuitry Gaming down a game right now. Mirage with the ball, but going to go all the way into their half, taking this one back. Ball on the top of Linear's car. He's going to come towards the net. He goes for the shot, maybe a little bit of a bump attempt there, but couldn't quite get it there. But Mirage trying to replicate that quick start from the last game, but unfortunately Circuitry is just going to be there to match everything.
Sky's trying to make a drive all the way downfield, gets a good 50 off of a clean dribble, and the pressure's mounting. Some excellent reads off the back wall, though, have led to some good clears from Mirage. Melody backflipping on a chance there, but it was going to be found and stopped under the crossbar by Nibra anyway. And a bit of a pile up here in the corner leads to Melody coming with a strong shot. Stopped out, though. That's a massive save here for Mirage to keep it tied up 0-0. Some good challenges here at the midfield as Vegas gives away possession with a side flip. I think he was trying to get that backwards a little bit to his teammate. But now a big clear from Linear. This is dangerous. And Melody can't make contact. That's just going to find its way into the back of the net. Mirage, they get the lead again in game number 2.
Yeah, coming with a counterattack here. I was going to say, I've been impressed with the way the Circuitry has adapted the way that they're playing here. They've been getting a lot more of the pressure, and they've been forcing Mirage's touches to sort of be on the ground. Mirage has been kind of dribbling the ball out and making ground touches. And when you're making ground touches to the other team, you pretty much give them complete control of what they want to do with the ball, to put it in the air, burn your boost, and go after it. But it doesn't matter because Circuitry makes one mistouch, puts it right on the nose of Linear, who just pops it over the top of everyone and cuts out that midfield rotation and gets the first goal here from Mirage.
the tactics of Mirage have been the perfect counterplay to Circuitry. They have been preying on the mistakes and defensive opportunities for their team. You saw even off the kickoff, they intentionally lost it in their own half for Vegas to collect the ball and start that drive down forward. And then yet again, being so patient and having a solid third man allows for big clears upfield to their teammates pushing forward, and capitalization on the over-aggression from Circuitry, which is going to be even more lethal as we see opportunities like this coming out. So dangerous, as we know that Circuitry, they got to find a goal here quick. A good opportunity here from Skies, but the ceiling touch is going to be sent to the right side of the net, only to be cleared into the orange corner. Here, a big 50 win out mid, though, found by Skies. Can't quite get the follow-up touch here, just off. It's inches on some of these touches that could lead to potential passing opportunities for teammates. They got to connect on those. Every opportunity counts as we approach the halfway point in this game too.
Yeah, this one is coming down to the wire right here. Mirage with, again, that early lead, so they have that cushion to work with, and right now they're using every portion of it. A fake here coming in, the shot's going to come on, and I've noticed Mirage has used fakes, utilizing fakes on whether or not they have boost. They've utilized fakes on shots like that to try to create openings, but so far Circuitry's done a pretty good job of dealing with them and recognizing what the threats are. But we'll see if they continue to do that as double tap and tip comes off the post, or excuse me, the crossbar rather. Is that one so close? I think he thought the defender had it and just got a little bit too low on it.
That whole push downfield was beautiful. That's something you expect to see in the regionals, in the majors, from the top teams that have been by each other's sides for splits upon splits. And these teams, they're just scrambling to find, who they can amongst the six-mans and field ladders here. But now, Melody is going to be the one to find the next goal, to tie it back up. Circuitry back in this. The placement here, soft touch. Linear is expecting a hard shot on target, and that's going to be ultimately what secures that goal.
Yeah, and a lot of what secured that goal was the fact that Vegas there in the corner, no boost, has to just kind of punt that ball towards the middle, and his team didn't recognize that quickly enough to get behind him as the shot comes in, almost going in right there, getting blocked away. And because his team didn't recognize that he had no boost and was punting it away, that infield pass comes down, and there's only one man there who doesn't have a chance to challenge the pass early. And 9 times out of 10, they're just dead to rights, and that shot's going to go in when you get those kind of situations.
No doubt. We're seeing a bit of a show of mechanics out here from Fifi and Skies pushing up field, and it's incredibly entertaining to watch. But when the game's this tight and you know that Mirage is able to score off of the foundational style of Rocket League gameplay, then you got to put the mechanics away a little bit and focus on fixing your core game. And with 50 seconds left here, the next goal could very much decide the entire tone of the series.
But it's so hard to recognize those adjustments mid-game, especially if you don't have a coach to tell you, right? You're sitting there in it trying to just prevent goals from going in, and making in-game adjustments like that can be very, very difficult for teams. But the ones that do it the best are the ones that win the most, and right here we're seeing Mirage trying to adjust, trying to get some stuff towards the goal. But now the counterattack has started, going to be left for Fifi. But Skies puts it a little bit too far in front of everybody, and now a counterattack coming back the other way. Infield pass to the left side. Linear with the shot inside the post. 16 seconds left. That might do it here for Mirage in Game 2.
Mirage, they're getting goals when it's most important. That touch completely out to the side. Great pass there. If you're Circuitry, you have to cover the net there, because that pass could be an initial shot, and it could be slotted top right. But the power on that pass, the decision to find his teammate, you're not stopping that. And now with 10 seconds left, they got to capitalize right here, right now. Circuitry looking for one more in 5 seconds. It's going to be 2 players coming in, though, to make this ball drop at mid. Skies, potentially one last opportunity, but a challenge from Niebuhr. No boost. He's going to be able to kill it. No, Skies. He keeps it up, and it ultimately is Mirage who sends it to the floor. Cannot quite keep that momentum forward and keep the ball alive.
Yeah, Skies right there had an opportunity to potentially get on that ball and challenge it, but he was so low on boost and so out of boost that he tries to think that he has enough time to go back for that left boost and then come challenge that ball and maybe get it free. Unfortunately for him, he didn't have that kind of time. There was a player on it to be able to challenge that ball when he's able to get to it. And so it was really like between a rock and a hard place right there, right? If he cuts on that ball, he doesn't have the boost to make a follow-up touch. but if he goes for the boost, he's going to get challenged off of it. So it really was just such a tough position to be in. He tried to go for the boost. They kept it up for a minute, but finally it allowed Mirage to swarm around and be able to kill that ball to the ground. And Mirage is looking good, man. I mean, these games have been close, but they're getting these early leads and they're keeping them for the most part.
Yeah, no doubt. You see all the way in ranked up through GC1, low GC2, people prioritizing boost over ball when you think, just a slight turn, recorrection of your course, you think you can make it, but if it comes down to the perfect challenge, every time you got to work with what you have as opposed to going for that boost.
Yeah.
And so respect the decision there, but these teams, they're too fast. This is highest level Rocket League you get. And ultimately, that was the dagger there to kill that play. And it's just so important. Every minuscule decision here is life or death.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes even with those minuscule decisions, there's not even really a right one, right? Like, because you don't necessarily know that you're going to get a challenge enough on it, especially as 0 seconds is coming on the clock to get it down to anybody. So it is so tough to make those in game here, but we'll see if they can adjust some stuff going forward. Again, it's just playing from behind against this Mirage team. Even though they were able to tie it up there for a little bit, they gave up a goal pretty quickly. It's been tough. I mean, Mirage has shown their ability to score goals. Circuitry is going to have to see if they can get on the board first and see if they can play with the lead a little bit, see if they can keep the ball in front of them. This is a team that looks like they sort of want to do that anyway. They've looked like they want to go with a midfield type rotation where they want to stay behind the ball and keep a lot of the possession of the game. But to be successful in that, like say like a Team Envy who runs like sort of a similar style but obviously much better because they're one of the top 3 teams in North America, you've got to be able to get some goals early and capitalize on your opportunities because it's not a play style that's really conducive to playing from a deficit or even necessarily an even game like we've seen so far.
Yeah, no doubt. It's so difficult watching matches like this because just on the day, I could see these two teams facing off against each other and having a completely different result on the scoreboard. But this is the one that it comes down to. And ultimately, I do think that Mirage, they were the one that showed under pressure, under the circumstances of a tournament format, they can clutch out what needs to be clutched out. They hit some crucial goals to steal the lead, and they really rode some momentum early on in the series and exploded out the gates to give them that advantage with the game 1 win, and ultimately, that's they secured a solid sweep here in the lower bracket best of 3 matchup.
I think actually Simpson were at a best of 5 because it's a qualifier match, so they still have a chance to come back.
You are
if I'm
correct.
not mistaken.
Yes.
So that's gonna be awesome for those guys. They get a chance. So yeah, you're gonna get a chance to see them do some of that stuff. Don't worry. I made the same mistake in the EU one because I thought we were also in losers and we're doing a best of 3s, but because it's qualifiers, it's best of 5s, which you'd love to see. You'd hate to see these guys have to go down in a best of 3 like that, right? Like even if they get swept here, at least we gave them a chance here in game 3 to correct some of the mistakes that are easily fixable for this team.
And hey, I can totally, absolutely see Circuitry pulling out some clutch wins here on the back half of this series. And I know teams, when they're talking about formats and ladders like the field, community tournaments, they always say best of 3 is not enough to gauge the proper results. So the fact that we're going best of 5s for these qualifying matches is huge because endurance, stamina in Rocket League is a lot harder than it looks. Especially at the highest caliber of gameplay here. And so we'll see if Mirage can keep up what they're doing here and close the series out, or if Circuitry can pull off a reverse sweep.
Yeah, and you just got to have the mindset of one game at a time, right? Every series, and when it comes down to it, it's just a first to 3 games. It doesn't matter if those 3 games come at the back of the series, at the start of the series. You just have to think of it as you've just got to win 3 games, and you think you can win any one individual game. If you look at it like, oh, Lord, we've got to win 3 in a row against these guys, this is going to be so tough, you can get down on yourself. Just think about it. Every series needs to be just a 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. It ends up being a 3-0 or a 3-2, whatever, win. You've just got to win that one game, and I think that's the mentality these guys are going to have coming into this one. Because, I mean, when you get it to 2-1, if you win this game, there was no way the score wasn't going to be 2-1 in a Game 4 situation anyway, right? Like, you've already made up the ground. You accidentally just dropped another game, and so it doesn't matter that those 2 games came back-to-back at all. It just matters that there you are on the board. You've got to win one more of those, and it's a dead even series.
Yeah, no doubt. Some of the most dominant teams in the world, the household names, They take their grand final series to 7 games pretty consistently, more often than not. And it's just the ability to close it out when it counts that sets you apart from the rest in a lot of cases. And Mirage is looking like they have that behind themselves right now so far in this series. And it speaks volumes to the players in these teams because Fifi, Skies, and Melody, nothing to scoff at, especially with their chemistry on the roster. But we are back into the game, and we're seeing Skies here, the big 50, sending that ball to the sky at midfield. That's a miss there from Mirage on defense, but ultimately Linear collects this just to kill some time, send it out, and Vegas able to get a clear off of that when it looked like Fifi should have been the next one to that touch. Quick recovery, though, sends it out from his corner as Vegas tries to snipe a sneaky shot on net. Turns into a big clear here as we're seeing some booming touches from both teams. Excellent positioning, back wall for both these teams are sending these clears right back downfield.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a great job of that. Here is now a challenge comes out. Demo is going to come in, and here we go all the way long down the field. And you know, Mirage has sort of scored off of these long shots out over the top, and a lot of times that's how you catch teams like this, like Circuitry, that want to push up and go for this kind of midfield early rotation, is you pop it up over the top of them, you get a transition attempt like this, and exactly as I'm talking about it, you see it. You see the whole team come up here. They cut for the midfield rotation early. Melody is up, and he's the last man. He gets 50-50'd out, and there's just no one who can race back to this ball in time. And Mirage noticing those situations and noticing that if you challenge that back man when he is the last man on the ball and can win that, it's going to lead to an easy goal. Just phenomenal tactics from them.
No doubt, and that shot from Vegas, you know, he put it low and fast, exactly what needed to be done to make sure that ball cannot be met by a defender. And I gotta say, Skies and Fifi, they've looked more dominant in the air, but we're seeing low rolling touches and low shots coming out from both Vegas and Nibra, and their dominance in the ground game and their ability to control where the game plays out, even if it's different than what we usually see from series, it's been playing in their favor. So great strategy execution here as we see Nibra going for a beautiful double tap attempt. Fifi's gonna have to come in and find a 50 just in front of his own net. That's gonna be a scary one. Allows Mirage to maintain pressure, but Fifi cutting off the touch from the side wall. Allows Skies to send that ball just a bit wide.
Yeah, but again, there's that aerial speed you're talking about from this Circuitry gaming squad where they really have looked better in the air. And for the most part, you know, when you're a team playing threes, you don't want to keep the ball kind of low to the ground. But Mirage making that adjustment, seeing that, you know, they're kind of getting beat to these aerial battles. So they're keeping the ball kind of close to the ground here. And when Fifi does that and keeps it down and to bounce up, they're thankful for that because that's where their strength is this one's going to get missed a little bit by Skies. Maybe had a better chance on that, but just kind of gets around it. This one played to the corner. Fifi. What a dunk! This is going to be a little wide, but maybe a follow-up chance. Here it is. Fifi's going to have it. A 1-2-1 right back to Fifi here. Man, what a dunk from him to set this all up.
That dunk was huge, and yeah, the initial dunk went wide, but his teammate was there pushing up field to send it back center for him to close out his touch. You can't aim that dunk. You got to just come in with full force on top of the ball and tackle with what you can. So excellent support there from his teammates to get that back out mid and capitalize. Halfway into the game now, it's tied 1-1 as Melody looks to show off that aerial prowess. We're talking about Fifi trying to find a shot. It's stopped by Nibra on the line. Excellent pressure here as Skies off the ceiling is able to dunk the touch off the side wall. Oh, a shot sent just wide by Fifi. A couple of these, it looks like they're open opportunities, but the angles are just too tough for Circuitry so far. So close. That was a great drive, but we're seeing some quick relief here from Mirage at midfield as they try and send it back downfield.
Yeah, Mirage is showing their comfort in parking the bus, right? Like, you know, the goals that Circuitry has scored have, for the most part, actually been off transition a little bit when they've caught Mirage without anybody on the back end. They really haven't been able to break down the back of this defense with just pressure. Their defensive rotations towards the back of the net and keeping the ball in front of them have been very, very good. And it's only when they've had about one person back, kind of like that right there, has Circuitry found any success, and they almost find it again. But now, with the whole defense up and around and back, Mirage feels pretty good, I think, about their chances.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And tied 1-1 here. It's always scary in these series, but so far, any sort of situation like this has resulted favorably for Mirage. So they have a right to feel good about the shoes they're standing in right now. As this is coming out mid here. Shot opportunity stopped by Melody. That's a huge save. I thought for sure he wouldn't be able to get back for that. It was a wide rotation home, but just enough to cut that one off.
Yeah, that was so close right there. Almost able to slot that one home as the transition came out. And, we mentioned Mirage doing so well and sort of the half-field defense, I guess you'll call it, when they've been back and able to keep it in front of them. But Circuitry's the same way. Most of the goals they've conceded have been in transition, which just goes to show you that not overcommitting, making sure that you're keeping the ball in front of you is kind of the name of this series right here. In Circuitry, quick cut right there, trying to get it going as Melody, but unfortunately for him, couldn't quite get it there. But 30 seconds left here, Simpson, and I'm wondering, is anyone going to break away in regulation, or are we going to overtime here in Game 3?
Well, that's a tough call. I feel like Circuitry's been looking better here lately in this game, which is surprising, but we've seen how quickly Mirage can score here. I think we'll probably see an OT here, unless this ball just scrapes in. That's a big save from Melody out here. That's scary. What a redirect, though. It's the low plays. It's the ground game, just like we were talking about. Vegas slots it bottom right to take the lead. 5 seconds on the clock.
Great. Okay, that's what I thought happened. So this is a phenomenal infield pass to get this back. But this is double touch right here, I think, which adds so much power to the ball, because if you hit a ball after a bounce, the way the physics work in the game, you can transfer that bounce power into the ball and towards the net. And that ball came in screaming because one of the players cut it off to try to get a shot themselves on it, and it let the player with the better angle, Vegas there, come in more quickly on that ball and just scream it into the bottom right side of the net to end the series. And, I mean, a little bit lucky in that regard, trying to call each other off and get that one. But either way, you take that as Mirage, and what a screaming goal there to secure the series. Phenomenal stuff from this team.
Yeah, they take those. Any extra power you can get, that's going to make a world of difference on the danger of your shots. Mirage, though, I'll tell you what, I never would want to be tied up with them. I know I'm going to try and get a lead against them as soon as possible in a series or a game, because it seems like 1-1, that game, it doesn't matter how much pressure you have, it's in Mirage's favor. They are so confident and sturdy in their gameplay. They can last forever on the pitch out here. And closing it out with goals in regulation that late, consistently throughout, I mean, a lot of times teams are just kind of trying to battle to get that reset point and be able to get their mind back and start a play over. And Mirage, no, they're always constantly praying, looking to close it out as quickly as they can.
Yeah, and I mean, right there, the way that they closed that out was a little bit risky anyway. I mean, a deep infield pass from almost the opposing team's corner can often lead to a transition attempt right there. If Circuitry is able to get someone on that and cut that pass out, it could easily have screamed back the other way. But the faith in their players to be quicker on the ground to the ball, to be able to put the ball home, ended up securing that series for them. And they're going to be the first team that we see qualify on stream here today in North America. And it was awesome, Simpson. I mean, we had a great time in that one, and I cannot wait to see what we have coming up for the rest of the day. But for right now, I think we're going to have to throw it to a quick break here before we get into our second series.
Me as well.
Oh, yeah, that is it for you. We're going to have Hunted come on. We had Simpson filling in for him, and always great to cast with you, man. I don't get to do it as often as I'd like to. It was a great time.
Every time. That was a blast. Thanks for having me on, Shope, and Hunted and Shope together here for this next series. Going to be a phenomenal one. You won't want to miss it, and we'll be back with more of the field here shortly.